Have you ever noticed how the people flaunting designer clothes, luxury watches, and flashy cars are usually not the ones with real wealth? Funny thing is, the richest people in your city probably walk past you every day, and you'd never know it. They're not flexing a Rolex or cruising in a rented Lamborghini. They're quietly building multi-million-dollar portfolios, collecting dividends while you're scrolling Instagram. So today, let's talk about signs someone's rich, but will never show it. And more importantly, how you can master these same wealth-building strategies no matter where you're starting from. Don't miss the powerful conclusion at the end. If you're hungry for success and eager to learn, hit that subscribe button. We're here to share the secrets and strategies to accelerate your journey. All right, let's dive in. Number 1. They spend less than they earn, always. Here's the most boring but deadly effective wealth trick. They live below their means. While social media teaches you to look rich, the genuinely wealthy are allergic to overspending. They know every dollar saved is a soldier in their army of investments, ready to march into dividend stocks, rental properties, or index funds. Take this example. If someone earns $80,000 a year and consistently lives on $50,000, they're freeing up $30,000 for investing. Imagine dropping that into an S&P 500 index fund annually. Over 15 years with compound interest, that's not just savings. It's potentially $800,000 in equity growth. Meanwhile, the guy flaunting his $1,500 shoes, he's working overtime to pay off credit card debt. Here's the mindset shift. Money saved isn't money wasted. It's a seed. The rich know this seed can grow into orchards of passive income. The trick isn't starving yourself. It's making intentional trade-offs. Number 2, their car is a tool, not a trophy. Here's a fun stat. The average millionaire drives a car that's at least 4 years old. Why? Because cars lose value faster than yesterday's iPhone. The truly wealthy don't see their car as a status symbol. They see it as transportation. Imagine 2 colleagues. Alex leases a brand new luxury car for $900 per month. Sam drives a reliable 6-year-old Toyota he owns outright. After 5 years, Alex has burned through over $54,000 in lease payments with nothing to show for it. Sam? He invested that same money in dividend-paying ETFs. With average returns of 8%, Sam's car sacrifice grew into nearly $80,000 of financial security. The wealthy know cars don't build net worth. They invest in real estate, stocks, or even early IPO allocations instead. They'll happily Uber to meetings if it means their portfolio keeps compounding in the background. Quietly, wealthy people choose function over flash because they know trophies fade, but cash flow lasts. Number 3, they value time more than things. The secret currency of the wealthy isn't just money, it's time. Someone rich but humble won't waste their weekends flexing at malls. They invest time into learning, networking, or building businesses. Think about it. If your goal is financial freedom, every hour matters. A wealthy individual might spend 2 hours researching rental properties, analyzing mutual funds, or checking a stock market analysis, while others waste that same time binge-watching shows. The result? One group compounds knowledge and wealth, the other compounds regret. Put a dollar value on your time. If you make $50 per hour, would you really spend 2 hours mowing your lawn instead of hiring help for $30? Wealthy people delegate tasks that don't build equity growth and focus on opportunities that compound. Number 4, they're obsessed with privacy. Here's a sign you won't see on Instagram. The rich but low-key guard their privacy like gold. They're not announcing every new stock trade, every real estate purchase, or every vacation. They understand exposure brings problems, jealousy, scams, even unnecessary tax questions. I once knew someone who quietly owned 14 rental properties across America. To his neighbors, he looked like a normal middle-class guy in khakis. No one knew he was pulling in $12,000 a month in rental cash flow. Why? Because the minute you brag, people start asking for loans, opportunities, or shortcuts. The wealthy understand. Wealth grows faster when it's quiet. They let their portfolios speak, not their Instagram feeds. If you find someone humble about money, chances are their net worth is quietly climbing while others brag about weekend shopping hauls. Number 5, they invest in assets, not appearances. Here's the biggest myth. You need to look wealthy to be wealthy. Wrong. Quietly rich people pour money into assets, not liabilities. Assets like stocks, bonds, dividend-paying ETFs, and even hedge fund openings quietly build equity growth over decades. Here's the tough love. That luxury handbag won't send your kids to college. That $300 shoe drop won't pay for your retirement portfolio. But that boring automatic investment plan into dividend stocks? That will. The rich understand appearances fade, but assets grow. Number 6. They don't brag about income. They focus on net worth. A lot of people brag about their salary. I make 6 figures. But here's the insider truth. Income doesn't equal wealth. Net worth does. The quietly wealthy don't care if they make $70,000 or $700,000 a year. What matters is how much they keep, invest, and grow. Someone making $60,000 a year but consistently investing $15,000 into the stock market could end up wealthier than someone making $200,000 but spending every dollar. This mindset is freeing because it stops you from chasing job titles for ego. The wealthy chase financial independence, not applause. They know a portfolio stuffed with dividend stocks, real estate, and index funds matters more than flashing a pay stub. Number 7. They're comfortable saying no. Want to know a hidden superpower of the wealthy? They say no, a lot. No to overpriced dinners. No to get-rich-quick investments. No to unnecessary expenses. It's not stinginess, it's clarity. Every yes is money leaving their future. Every no is another dollar that can flow into shares, early IPO allocations, or rental properties. Here's a real example. A friend once invited me to a 1-200 weekend getaway. One person declined politely, invested that money into an index fund, and let it sit. Years later, that simple no was worth nearly 2,500 with compounding. Meanwhile, the group barely remembered the trip. The rich know short-term fun isn't worth long-term regret. Their no is actually a yes to bigger financial security later. Number 8. They learn and adapt constantly. Another unspoken trait of the quiet wealthy. They're obsessed with learning, but not in a boring textbook way. They track stock market trends, understand real estate cycles, and know how bonds and mutual funds protect portfolios during market volatility. They're like financial athletes, always training. While most people complain about inflation, the wealthy research which dividend stocks or rental properties can hedge against it. They're never done learning. The lesson here: you don't need a fancy degree. You need curiosity. YouTube, podcasts, and blogs are free classrooms. If you dedicate 20 minutes a day to financial education, that's over 120 hours a year. In 5 years, you'll know more than 95% of people, and your investments will reflect it. Quietly wealthy people don't just adapt, they anticipate. And that's why they stay rich while others struggle. Number 9. They're boringly consistent. This one sounds dull, but it's the ultimate wealth hack: consistency. Quietly rich people don't jump from one next big thing to another. They pick a system, like monthly investments in the S&P 500 or consistent rental property acquisitions, and stick with it for decades. The world wants excitement. Wealth requires boredom. That $500 auto transfer into an index fund every month. Not flashy. But in 25 years, that's over $450,000 in passive income potential. Think of wealth like fitness. You don't get abs from one crazy workout. You get them from doing the basics consistently. The rich know money works the same way: slow, boring, steady. If you ever wonder why someone seems average but suddenly retires early, it's because they were quietly consistent when everyone else was chasing hype. Number 10. They don't chase validation, they chase freedom. Here's the final sign. Rich but humble people don't care about validation. They don't need likes, claps, or head turns. They're building freedom. Freedom means not worrying about bills. Freedom means not staying in a toxic job. Freedom means their portfolio's passive income pays for life, not their boss's approval. I once met someone who could afford a mansion but chose a modest home. Why? Because his investments in real estate and stocks gave him cash flow freedom. The big house would have been a prison. The modest house? A launch pad to even more options. This is the ultimate wealth-building strategy. Stop chasing applause. Start chasing autonomy. The rich don't show off because their real flex is time, peace, and choices. The powerful conclusion is, wealth doesn't scream. It whispers. The loudest person in the room flashing money usually has the least of it. The real millionaires are quietly sipping coffee, living below their means, letting compound interest and assets work for them. And here's the best part. You don't need to be born into privilege to master these habits. You can start today by saving a little more, learning a little daily, investing consistently, and saying no to what doesn't matter. So ask yourself, do you want to look rich or do you want to be rich? Because the ones who choose B are the ones who quietly build fortunes, retire early, and live life on their own terms. I believe in sharing knowledge that transforms lives. If this resonated with you, like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to continue this journey with me. Now, if you want to know 10 Dutch frugal habits which actually save a lot of money, then watch this video. I'll see you there.